Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Beauty Within Sickle Cell. I'm Jasmine, and for this week's Sickle Cell Sunday, I'm going to be talking about traveling and my tips and tricks that I have for traveling. Just because we have sickle cell disease, it does not mean we cannot do certain activities. It doesn't mean we cannot travel and see the world. It just means we have to be very cautious and very smart about the situation, along with being very prepared, knowledgeable, and all of these things, just so we know what we're getting ourselves into. Traveling can be very exhausting. It can be very deteriorating to our bodies. If you're on a flight, it can lower your oxygen levels. If you're on a super long flight, your blood can start pooling in your legs can start swelling up, you can start getting a crisis. So it's very good to be knowledgeable about what we can do to prevent certain things. Alrighty guys, so I do have a little list right here that I'll be referring to. I did take some notes. I do not want to forget anything on this topic. This is a very important topic, so I had to write down my thoughts. So the reason I want to talk about traveling is because I will be doing some traveling myself. On this upcoming Thursday, July 28th, I will be attending the Sickle Cell Disease Patient and Family Convention. It will be held at the Lowe's Hollywood Hotel, and they're going to be covering a lot of topics on sickle cell disease. I am so beyond excited to be attending this event. I have never been to a sickle cell convention, symposium, anything sickle cell related. Usually here in California, there are very few events here. I'm super excited to meet all of these other wonderful sickle cell warriors. I mean, I have never met any sickle cell warriors in person. I always get to I'm stuttering, I'm just so excited. I always get to see all your wonderful faces on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, social media, but I mean, it's good to meet someone in person, get to know them. So I'm going to talk about my tips and tricks that I have. So if you're interested in learning about those tips and tricks that I have on traveling with sickle cell, just keep on watching. So here are my tips if you are traveling. It doesn't matter if you're going on a bus, airplane, spaceship. Number one, you want to make sure you stay hydrated. If you get on the plane, that can really dehydrate you. Your skin can get dehydrated as well. You want to make sure you stay as hydrated as you possibly can. You want to make sure you are drinking the proper liquids and stay away from certain liquids. So you want to make sure you drink water. You want to make sure you drink Pedialyte, or if you can't find Pedialyte, the alternative name is pediatric oral electrolyte solution. The main two I would focus on is the oral electrolyte solution and water. You should stay away from alcohol, coffee, tea. You don't want no alcohol, no coffee or tea, because it can dehydrate you. I know all of us need our morning coffee or morning tea, but it's not really good for our bodies. With that being said, I'll still go ahead and drink my coffee. I cannot function without coffee, but I will go ahead and drink about 2 or 3 cups of water right before I'll leave. I'll keep chugging the water, and I'll even try to carry a little bottle of Pedialyte with me. I'll drink it in the car just to get that extra electrolytes, minerals, vitamins, all those good things. The second tip I have for you is avoid stress. Traveling in itself is such a hassle. It's so stressful, and with sickle cell, it's just so many more precautions we have to take, and we have to make sure we have this, we have to make sure we have that. The way you can avoid stress is by planning everything and staying well organized and be prepared for an emergency. The reason our bodies get stressed out is because we are sometimes unprepared. We're not prepared for a certain situation, so we start panicking. So you want to make sure you plan out everything. You want to make sure you write everything out. I know I have my list, so I try to write everything down that I need to accomplish so I can physically see, okay, this is what needs to get done. And Jasmine, you are just Netflix and chilling over there. Get your butt up, start packing, start filming, start editing, stop Netflixing, stop YouTubing, stop being on social media, Facebook and all that stuff. Get up and do your list, because I'm the type of person that if I don't see my list, I'm like, oh, I don't have anything to do, let me just roam around, do whatever. I know you cannot completely avoid stress. You don't want to get stressed out. You're gonna have a good time in a couple of days. You always want to prepare for the best and the worst. So this is the third tip I have for you guys, is to know your triggers. I've discussed this in previous videos. For example, my triggers are standing up too much, walking too much. I start getting pain if I'm out in the heat, or if I'm in a room that's super cold where the AC is blaring. If it's super cold, I'll start getting a pain crisis. By knowing your triggers, you can know what you can do on your trip and what you can't do. It's really important to know your triggers, because you can really avoid certain situations that we know we shouldn't be putting ourselves into. The fourth tip I have for you guys is pack your pain medications accessibly. Sometimes we will go ahead and throw our medications in the suitcase. Our suitcase will go in the undercarriage, depending if it's a carry-on. If it's a carry-on, you know, it'll go on the above carry-on section. So you want to pack your pain meds right next to you. You want to have them available for you to have in case you start getting a crisis either on the plane or on the road. I have heard of patients packing their medications on the carry-on, and then once it's in the carry-on, it kind of just, you know, slides over and they get into a crisis, and then they have to direct the stewardess to please get their pain meds for them because they're in a painful crisis. So you want to be able to either have like a crossbody purse where you can have it right on you, somewhere near that you can really like reach in and take them if you have some sort of painful crisis. Now that we're on the topic of medications, I quickly wanted to mention this is a little bag that I have right here. I don't know if I'm going to keep my medications in here because I have some snacks in here, and this is actually a lunch pail. It's insulated, but the reason I like this bag is because I like to keep the medications nice and cool, especially my Hydrea, because it is like a gel capsule. So if I have some sort of other purse, it can get really hot and the pills can explode depending if it's a gel capsule or not. So I do like to keep it in here. I have some candies, because like Jolly Ranchers and some Warheads. I have some licorice in here, and the reason I like to carry candies is because my sugar will start to get low, or my pressure can get low if I take my pain medication. You don't want to get your sugar low, so I'll just pop in a candy, and I will carry some other snacks, probably like a fresh fruit and some healthier options, but since my trip is not, you know, today, I'm gonna pack it the morning of. Like I was saying, I do have my meds in here, so that is like my little baggie that I have, and as you can see, it's pretty accessible. That kind of leads into my fifth tip, and it's to bring snacks. You have to carry your own snacks because you will get hungry. I like to bring snacks. As you saw, I bring my candy, I bring my Warheads, I'll bring gum, I will bring peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I will bring apples, fresh apples. The next tip I have is talk to your doctor and make sure you're nice and good to go. I did get a blood transfusion, what was it, like a week ago. You want to make sure you and your doctor have some sort of plan of action in case anything happens. You want to talk to your doctor to make sure you have enough medications, and this is all your medications. You want to make sure that you have all of your medications ready to go. So you want to make sure you talk to your doctor, you have your action plan, and you know what to do if you have a crisis. You know what hospital is nearby. You want to make sure that you have all of your vaccinations up to date, and if you're going to a country where malaria is present, you want to make sure you take your malaria medication so you don't get malaria. My 7th tip is, if you are on a long plane, bus ride, even a car ride, you want to make sure you get up and walk every hour. You can start clotting easily in your legs, and all the blood can kind of start pooling in your legs. You do not want that. You want to make sure you start getting your blood circulating. You want to move, you want to kind of stretch. Of course, it's a little tougher, but you know, you do what you got to do. Get up, go to the bathroom, or you know, walk all the way to the end, walk all the way back, walk all the way to the front, walk all the way back. You know, just a couple of minutes just to get your legs stimulated and that circulation going. The next tip I have for you, and that's going to be the 8th tip, is to wear comfortable clothing. You do not want to be wearing high heels or a big hat. You want to be comfortable. You want to have maybe some sort of comfortable shoes, some sort of flats, some sort of maybe gym shoes, but I'll take jeans, a shirt, some sort of comfortable clothing. I've gone in shorts, like athletic shorts. Sometimes can get very cold. It's good to carry an extra sweater. I think this is going to be the 10th tip I have, to have your emergency contact information. You want to have your information of where you're going, where you're staying, all the phone numbers. You want to have all of that information ready to go, either in a wallet, in a little folder, in a little post-it, on your phone. The reason you want to have your emergency contact information is because you want to be prepared. What happens if you do have a crisis while you're in the air, or what happens if you do pass out? The airline, they need to find this emergency contact information so they can call your relatives and let them know what's going on. But as far as knowing the hotel info, where you're staying, where you're going, phone numbers, things like that, that's for you, so you can be prepared, so you can contact the hotel, or you can contact whoever you need to contact in case something does happen. This is gonna be my last tip, and it's to communicate with your loved ones as often as possible, just to let them know you're good, let them know you're well, to give them an update, or to even let them know you're not doing well, you know, depending on the situation. Try to keep your family updated just so they don't worry. Our parents and family members worry about us because we do have, you know, sickle cell. Sickle cell is very serious, and they have all the right to be concerned. Now, I did forget to mention that with sickle cell, if you are going on a plane, your oxygen levels can be greatly affected. You should call the airline to know if they have oxygen available on the cabins for you to use in case of an emergency. I know most airlines should have oxygen in case anything happens, but it's always good to double check and not assume, because there may be a situation where you might have to be passed out in order for them to use the oxygen. So, you know, go ahead and call the airline just to go ahead and double check that you do have that oxygen available in case of any emergency. Now, I did hear that some insurances can cover an oxygen tank if you're traveling within the US. Now, I don't know if you're traveling abroad. I don't know how that would work. I heard someone mention that they do not service outside of the US. Some regulations, I don't know. But if you're traveling maybe from the West Coast to the East Coast, or the East Coast to the West, you know, a long flight, it would be a good idea to get in contact with your insurance and see if they can give you an oxygen tank enough for your flight in case you do get low oxygen. So anyways guys, those are my tips that I have for traveling. I hope you enjoyed the video. If any of you are traveling this summer or in the near future, I wish you safe travels and I hope you have an amazing time. If you have any further comments or questions, please leave them down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out my Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and my Twitter. I'll leave it linked down below in the description box. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys!